Hey everyone, welcome to Book Talk Tuesday. Today I have some really special things to talk to you about. I brought some books that are new to my public library right here in Melville, Saskatchewan. And these books are really special because they were purchased from donations made from one of our board members' funerals. We had a wonderful man who was a chair of our board at the library, and he unfortunately passed away a little while ago. And when they were making some decisions about his funeral, instead of asking for flowers or donations, his wife Barb asked for donations to be made to the Melville Public Library, which in my mind is just the most fantastic, generous thing that someone could do. So my wonderful librarian has gone out and purchased some amazing new books, and we have put these neat stickers on them so that everyone can know that they were purchased from a donation in memory of Dale Martin, who was our board member. And she had lots of money from so many people giving donations, so she was able to purchase tons of books and a lot of books for kids, which is really wonderful too in our community. So I'm going to take you through a few of them, and if you live in my community or near it, these books will be on display this weekend at the library and ready to check out. You'll have to zip down there to get your hands on them first. So I'm going to show you a few. The first ones I'm going to show you are a couple of novels. This one's called Seaborn, the Lost Prince. It's about a boy that kind of ticks off a pirate king and has to do a whole bunch of stuff to kind of get back in the good books or walk the plank. It seems very interesting. This one seems hilarious. It's called The Bolds, and if you read the back, it tells you about each character. It says, Mrs. Bold makes unusual hats from egg boxes and chicken bones. Mr. Bold is rather fond of scavenging in his neighbor's garbage cans. Bobby is a cheeky little one, always running about and chewing on table legs. And Betty likes to chase her brother and has a strange cackling laugh. Yes, they are far from being an ordinary family. But have you guessed their secret? I'll try and show you some little pictures. Might not be humans. From those clues, you might be able to figure out what they are. It seems really funny. It's got some cool pictures in it as well. It's not quite a graphic novel, but it does have some picture support in it, and it seems very, very funny. This one is called Hissy Fits. It's about a cat. He's very grumpy because his family just won't leave him alone. He really would just like to sleep and kind of snooze all day and do nothing, but he never gets to. And so he's very upset, and it's a story about him. This is a little series. They're called Scary Tales Retold. So they're a little bit scary, but they take a little take on a ordinary fairy tale like The Princess and the Pea and change them. So it's like The Princess and the Poison Pea, or it has Rapunzel and the Werewolf. So those will be very interesting, I think. We also, I'm reaching around here, we also got some really amazing resources and nonfiction books for First Nations information. I always love when our libraries stock up on First Nations information. There doesn't seem to be enough, or it's a little bit too generalized about all First Nations. So these ones are specifically kind of geared towards West Coast First Nations, which is really amazing. I love the West Coast artwork. It's something I've always been really drawn to. And so those are them. There's a few others from a different series about Métis and Cree. Here in Saskatchewan, many of our First Nations come from Cree descent. So those are really great. We have another series. This publisher, Cloverleaf Books, takes a lot of really interesting things for kids. So these ones are all about different things about school and getting ready for school or starting school. So we have some nice little storybooks for kids that need to kind of learn what they might expect at school or looking for some reinforcement about school. So those are really awesome. I love this book that my library got. We had a little chuckle about sometimes kids at school because I'm a teacher. It's called You Can Handle Conflict, Hands or Words. And I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. But when I started to read it, I realized it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. If any of you are my age or older, you might remember those books where you could pick what would happen and turn to that page. That's what happens in here. So it says you know, it kind of choose your own ending. So what happens next? And then it asks you to turn to the page, making your choice, and you kind of get to see the real life consequences of making good and bad choices. There's other ones in this series. I'm very excited to read other ones. Yeah, they seems like really fun. I think I might take this one and read it to my class, and they can kind of choose what might happen and see the consequences, good or bad, what would happen if you use your hands or your words. That would be very interesting. I love that my librarian got this. It's called Hooray for Librarians, and I just think hooray for librarians because they're wonderful. They make everyone's lives amazing with all the books and all the hard work that they do. So I'm actually really proud that my librarian got more books to showcase librarians and the wonderful jobs that they do for us. I'm very excited about the next 2 series she got. I know I'm excited because I'm teaching grade 3 and they seem like books my grade 3s are going to love. So I might have to be borrowing 1 or 2 a week from her so that my grade 3s can read them. These ones are called Ick and Crud. They're about 2 dogs that kind of have some different mysteries or different adventures. They sometimes they just have blah days, but sometimes they go on kind of an adventure. They've got a nice big font with some wonderful color pictures. Great kind of transition book. They are considered chapter books. They do have a few little chapters in there. So for kids that are moving from maybe some, you know, sentence story books into some things with a little bit more chapters, but still stuff that you might be able to just do in one sitting. These are fantastic. These ones I'm like geeking out over. I've never even heard of them, and when my librarian showed me, we were both like, maybe we should just sit and do everything in here because we wanted to do them so bad. They're called Lottie Lipton Adventures, and there's a whole series, and Lottie Lipton is like a treasure hunter, kind of detective-y, but treasure hunter girl. And inside, she has to figure out a lot of clues and kind of decode a lot of things. If I were younger, I would have loved this book. When I was younger, I loved Nancy Drew, and I was trying to figure out all the little mysteries, A to Z mysteries, and Nate the Great and everything. But these ones actually have interactive riddles in them. So you actually have to solve the riddles, or there might be like little decoding puzzles inside them where you actually have to like decode things. There's mazes. You actually have to figure it out before you can move on. You're kind of helping her out with like maybe some hieroglyphics and figuring out the message. I just want to take them all and write in them because they seem so fun and so interesting to me. Like there's number puzzles. Anyways, if you're listening to this and you take these books out, please don't write in the books. Like we all want to do it, but grab an extra sheet of paper and figure them out, but try not to write in them because other people want to figure out the clues. We don't want to be told the clues. But to be honest, before I give them back to Carol, my librarian, I might read them all because I'm so excited. So we got a lot of them. We got about 6 of them. They seem so cool to me. I can't wait to tell my class about them. In fact, I'm going to make them watch this video. They're always wanting to watch a video at lunch. Yeah, they're going to watch this tomorrow. So those are all the great new books here at the Melville Public Library. If you are someone that's not local to us and you have access to getting books, these ones are great choices for your students or for your families. And I will see you next time.